Alrighty, this is another food yes no tag, but it's more extensive than the previous one that I have done. This one has 60 food items, food and drink items. Anyways, you answer if you've had it, yes or no if you've had it, and if you've had it, if you liked it or not. Ketchup, yes, and I don't like it. Mayonnaise, yes, and I don't like it. Spicy pickles, yes, and I like it. Black jelly beans, yes, and I like it. Pineapple and bacon pizza, yes, and I like it. Sardines, yes, and I like it. Oysters, yes, and I love them. Tuna, yes, and I like it. Cotton candy, yes, and I like it. Buffalo wings, yes, and I like it. Brussels sprouts, yes, and I like it. Mushrooms, yes, and I love them. Liver, yes, and I kind of like it. Prime rib, yes, and I like it. Bologna, yes, and I don't like it. Black olives, yes, and I like it. Green olives, yes, and I like it. Blue cheese, yes, and I love it. Liverwurst, yes, and I like it. Spam, yes, and I like it. Caesar salad, yes, and I like it. Potato salad, yes, and I like it. Eggnog, yes, and I like it. Black coffee, yes, and I love it. That's the only way I have coffee. Avocados, yes, and I like it. Horseradish, yes, and I do not like it. Sauerkraut, yes, and I like it. Chicken gizzards, yes, and I like it. Okra, yes, and I hated it. Coleslaw, yes, and I like it, but it has to be the creamy stuff, not the vinaigrette one. Crab salad, yes, and I like it. Mangoes, yes, and I love them. Yogurt, yes, and I'm okay with it. Sushi, yes, and I like it. Prunes, yes, and I don't like them. Asparagus, yes, and I love it. When it's cooked right, it's just divine. Black licorice, yes, and I like it. Eggplant, yes, and I like it. You gotta put feta cheese on eggplant before you cook it. Anyways, cottage cheese, yes, and I'm okay with it. Don't really like it or hate it. So, tofu, yes, and it's okay. Onions, yes, and they're okay. Mustard, yes, and it's okay. Raw tomatoes, yes, and I like them. Beets, yes, and I like them, especially pickled beets. Catfish, yes, and I like it. Canned tuna, yes, and I like it. Spinach, yes, and I like it, but not cooked. You cook spinach, you destroy it. Cantaloupe, yes, and I love it. Baked beans, yes, and I'm okay with it. Shrimp cocktail, yes, and I like it. Avocado, yes, and I love it. Coconut, yes, and I'm okay with it. Hard-boiled eggs, yes, and I like it. Nutella, yes, and I don't like it. It's too sweet. It's way too sweet. It's literally 50% sugar, literally. Peanut butter, yes, and I'm okay with it. Marshmallows, yes, and I'm okay with them. Green bean casserole, yes, and I hated it. Every time I hated it. Gumbo, yes, and I love it. Frog's legs, yes, and I did not actually like frog's legs. Artichokes, yes, and I was okay with them. Have a good one.